so proud of you. I mean, I'm one of your biggest fans.
I appreciate that.
Real. I mean, how that show is and what you guys stand for. Really appreciate it. You're fun. You bring that whole sense of humor. As a comedian, how hard is it for you to just break into this business? You know, because I'm sure you must have had your own little struggles.
BET Centric just did a wonderful hour special on me called Comedian Loni Love. You know, I've been doing this for over 15 years, being a stand-up. I've toured all over the United States. The one thing that it's like when we get certain guests on, you know, they always prep you and they always tell you certain things. And I remember our first A-list guest was Lawrence Fishburne. And, you know, at the time that was season 1, we used to play these silly games, you know, in season 1. And so when Lawrence came on, you know, producers like, it's Lawrence Fishburne, he's going to be serious. So you've got to be serious. Oh Lord, you know. Lawrence came on, was the coolest. Because, you know, at that time, I would flirt with the male guests. I would do all kinds. Loni, don't do that. You know, they prep, don't do this, Loni. You just ask your question. Move on. He's Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence. Like, I remember he was Larry. Okay? I think it's about determining who you want to be and what do you want to do in your life. What's your purpose? I had decided that I wasn't going to get married. I wasn't going to have children because I wanted to be an entertainer. I saw that there wasn't a voice for us at the time that I was coming up, and it's still a lack of a voice. And you see that because it took 67 years for a black actress to win an Emmy. My aha moment was not to I listen to my producers, but I don't take that as the Bible. I don't take that as, okay, it's got to be. You never know with a guest. You just have to listen. And that's what it goes back to, doing radio, doing those small projects when I was, you know, on, you know, the cable shows and things like that, because all of that has helped me to be the performer and the person I am today. It's very important to have chemistry. You don't necessarily have to be friends.
Okay.
But you have to have chemistry. I have a game show coming out with Ellen DeGeneres in January called Heads Up. It's based on her app. So I'm working with her through my production company and her production company. So we've teamed up and I'm very excited for that. And I just wrapped the movie Mother's Day, which stars Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis and Julia Roberts and a bunch of other cool white people. So, because you have to stay in their lane too, and show them that it's important that, you know, we have a voice there. And I'm very appreciative to the director Gary Marshall, who directed Pretty Woman and created Happy Days, and to give me a chance to be with, you know, that level. You know, so of people. So we just wrapped that, and that's coming out on Mother's Day.
So I have a CD that just dropped 3 weeks ago on iTunes. It debuted on the #1 spot on iTunes spoken word chart. It's called Selfless. You know, most of the messages in my music, you know, it always comes back around to self-love, self-responsibility, self-accountability. This record really represents a point where I am in my life now, just in terms of having turned 45, looking at life differently, looking at love differently. The more specific you are about what you're writing about, the more universal it winds up being. So there are a lot of really personal things that I have shared on this record, and the feedback I'm getting is those very things really resonated with people.
You grew up on TV in front of us. How do you separate the two lives? Because people tend to refer to you as the Cosby Kid.
Sure.
How does that affect you?
The Cosby Show is something that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of the legacy. I'm very proud of the influence that it has had on Black America and white America. But I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work since then. So I've worked very hard in a lot of planning early on to be able to have the kind of career and kind of life that I have had. I am a studying jazz musician. So I definitely think somewhere down the line it would be that would be an interesting, cross in terms of doing something film-wise that satisfies both interests.
But I feel like I was one of the first just young dudes singing the type of just with the type of material that I was singing and the type of things that I was singing about and the content. Of course with the production as well. I feel like I definitely have a lot to do with the innovation of the way new R&B sounds today.
I have 2 sons, and a lot of times I believe that the content, the lyrics are not appropriate for even my child to listen to. I believe that because as rappers and even as R&B artists, we tend to, it's all about the bitch and the whores and the money and the drugs, the gun. Do you think that these, when are we going to clean up the music and do, things that make sense to the younger generation rather than these kind of content that because of money we do it?
I slipped up. I've said things that I don't really mean, but I think with rap, because of the fact that it's an expression of young, especially a lot of young black males, it's like a lot of us are rapping about the things that we see or the things that we're going through, and I feel like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people exaggerate and a lot of people say things, and there's a lot of content out there that's just, it's not right for our kids. It's not right for young kids growing up, and that's why you got me, right? Songs like Say It and stuff like that, Have your faith in God, and just at the end of the day, just as long as you right with him and y'all got a relationship and you allow him to guide you where you gotta go, don't be Gucci.
When I say shy is kind of like stop hiding yourself. That's an acronym that I use. It's like stop hiding yourself. But it's easy for me to, you give me a script and you give me some lines. Like that was so hard to stand up there and take pictures. I love just becoming someone else. I love tapping into something that's inside of me that I don't necessarily get a chance to bring out. Train, to study, to learn, and to stay in that world. You want to be an actor, then act. There was a young lady who asked us a question. She said, what do I do if I want to be a producer? You produce. And if you don't know how to produce, you act like it. You know what I mean? Because you would be surprised. It's the business of show. There's so many people that are doing all these jobs, this, that, and the others. How'd you get into this? I don't even know. But I knew what I wanted to do. So then you just stay in that world. So, Amazing Grace Conservatory, please support it. We're nonprofit. Click on that PayPal, donate, hashtag that. Okay, thank you guys. I'm going to my booth to sell the show.
I don't think that everybody misjudges me. I think that there are certain people that can't handle when somebody's just going to keep it straight with them. And I'm the type of person, if I allow you into my space, then I should be able to tell you how I feel about something, and everybody can't really handle that. So I think when people watch the show, don't just limit us to what you're watching. Investigate. Google is your friend. Right. Know what everybody has going on, and I think that people just tend to look at what they see and think that that's it. When you look at Basketball Wives, pretty much we're all portrayed one-dimensionally. Right. Shawnee's always this way, Evelyn was this way, I'm always portrayed this way. Not one person in here is a one-dimensional human being. Yeah. So please use Google, find out what we've got going on, because all of us have a lot of other ventures outside of Basketball Wives. People don't realize that for 14 years I've worked as an actress. Real World was the first reality show I did, and I vowed it was going to be the last one. But life happens, and sometimes you make decisions that you have to make to be able to take care of your family. So I returned back to Basketball Wives, and because of that, now everybody that's just coming to know about me thinks I'm just a reality TV person, right, and I'm breaking in. That's not the case. So I'm excited for people to see me actually in the craft. I'm always talking to people on social media. My clapback game is the best ever. Like, it is the best. And I've evolved in my clapback. It used to be a bunch of bitches and get off my timeline. And now I'm like, God loves you and stay blessed. Involve yourself in something that you're knowledgeable about. I think that when people start to enter or decide to enter into the business world outside of corporate America, I'm talking about being an entrepreneur, they tend to look at things that other people have been successful in and say, I can do that. And it's not necessarily that you can't. But don't open a beauty shop if you don't know how to do hair. Because when your hairstylist doesn't come in, you still have customers. For me, I entered into the cosmetic game. I wasn't exactly knowledgeable in that. I took all the necessary steps to educate myself so that when I'm in meetings and I have to interact with the people that are my manufacturers and my distributors, I can communicate properly. So educate yourself and try to take on something that you're going to be passionate about even when you're not making money.